Greetings and salutations and welcome to Brimley Bays basketball on Eagle 95.1. Scott Nason broadcasting from the Karl Parker Memorial Gymnasium in Brimley, Michigan, awaiting the start of tonight's boys varsity basketball contest between the visiting Newberry Indians and the hometown Brimley Bays. Joining us here at the Karl Parker Memorial Gymnasium, a voice that is familiar to many of our listeners. We haven't heard him for a while. He's back and better than ever. Ladies and gentlemen, Todd Olmstead.
Yeah, it's cold outside, but it's warm in the gym, and it's mid-season weather tonight, Scott, and thank you for the wonderful introduction. And I am a bit under the weather. The voice isn't where it needs to be, but the mind is crisp and clear tonight.
Well, that's good, Todd, and we love having you back. Now, Todd's going to be helping me out this week for Brimley Bays basketball. He's going to be doing some games on his own come January. We're going to split up the duties a bit. So, Todd, this is a key early season matchup for both these teams, as Brimley 1-1 on the season off that loss on Thursday at Cedarville. And Newberry 0-2. They lost to Sioux High in their last contest. So it's very early in the season, but really, I think, an important game for both teams. For Brimley, they want to shake off some of those bad vibes they had in Cedarville, a game where they played some of the game, some of the aspects of the game well, but you look at free throws, and we'll talk to Coach Matt Bathy here in the pregame show. Brimley, so far this season, 17 of 55 from the line. Obviously, you want to be a little better than that, and, you know, free throws are difficult, but sometimes it's that mental aspect of it. You know, you played basketball, Todd. When you got maybe in a little bit of a funk on the free throw line, how did you try to get out of it?
You know, if you're shooting well, you shoot well from the free throw line. If you're not shooting well, sometimes you don't. But that's not all to do. It is a mental thing. I believe that these guys, they're not tired. They're in great shape. A lot of times at the end of the game, your legs can get weak. Your free throws can be a little off. That's not like that with this team. This team's in great shape. It's a mental thing. They'll overcome. But statistically, you're going to have a few good games to bring this up to respectable levels.
Brimley Bays basketball brought to you by Chippewa County Credit Union, where all families make one union, serving all of Chippewa County, member NCUA, an equal housing lender. This Newberry Indians team, Todd, don't know a whole lot about them. Talked a little bit to our compatriot from Eagle Radio in Newberry about the season. They're 0-2. They played Sioux High, a very good team, tough. They were only down 5 in the second half, but this is a team that Brimley can't take lightly. Talent-wise, it looks like Newberry maybe doesn't have as much quote-unquote talent on the floor, but Newberry knocked off Brimley last year, and the Bays are going to have to play a solid game to beat them. Really, anytime you play a conference opponent, because now Newberry and Brimley are in the same conference, you just maybe get up a little bit more for that kind of game, don't you?
You do, and it's an interesting schedule what's laid out. I mean, you played Cedarville on Thursday. Now you got Newberry tonight. Newberry's traditionally a deeper team. They're a quick team. They like to get out and about. My brother-in-law is the principal of the high school, and he said they're going to be decent. He doesn't think they're better than Brimley. Personally, I don't mean to call him out. I'm not going to use his name on the radio, but he said that Brimley's going to be a good team, and I'm excited for tonight. Conference action early. I like it's like Big Ten.
It is.
This year. Just love getting into it. No tomato cans, baby.
That's right. Brimley Bays basketball brought to you by Bay Mills Community College, committed to providing affordable, culturally relevant, accessible, and high-quality educational opportunities to all. You can apply online today at bmcc.edu. Our broadcast engineers tonight, the tandem of Lance Monroe and Katie Woolen. Other games going on tonight in boys basketball. You have Rudyard at Engadine, Pickford at Cedarville, and Maplewood Baptist at Detour. And last night, the Brimley Bays girls team got their first victory of the season as they knocked off the Mackinac City Comets. The girls will be back in action on Friday. Had a chance to see Coach Ray Bell. Didn't have a chance to talk to him, but hey, the Lady Bays got one in the win column last night.
I miss saying the two words, Lady Bays. It's been a couple years since I've been able to say that. Loved watching them, calling the games a couple of years ago. Ray is such a great guy, a great man. He's a great teacher. Great to see him get a W. Well deserved, by the way.
Well, speaking of great guys, we're going to take our first break on our pregame show. We come back, we're going to hear from another great guy. His name is Matt Bathy, head coach of the Brimley Bays. We'll talk to Coach Bathy about the season so far and what his team needs to do to win tonight's contest here in Brimley against the Newberry Indians. We'll be back with more Brimley Bays basketball on Eagle 95.1. Scott Nason, Todd Olmsted back in Brimley, Michigan, as the starting lineups are being announced right now. First of all, for the visiting Newberry Indians, starting at guard number 20, Casey Wendt. Number 21, starting at forward, Ethan Edwards. Starting at forward, wearing number 30, George Severns. Starting at forward, wearing number 34, Jalen James. And starting at forward for the Newberry Indians, wearing number 42, Devin Carlson. Starting lineups for the Brimley Bays, starting at guard, number 32, Tristan Lyons. Starting at guard, number 34, Zach Gross. Starting at forward, their leading scorer on Thursday night with 16, Brendan Shornack. Starting at forward, number 44, Kaleb Johanson. And starting for the Brimley Bays at guard, wearing number 50, Hunter Lipponen. So here we go, Todd. Home opener for the Brimley Bays. Good crowd here, and I like what Coach John Aikinen did. He's the PA announcer. Of course, he is Mr. Brimley as far as coaching. He had everybody, including you and I, my son Liam Vance, down along courtside. Everybody sang, and boy, everybody did sing.
It was lovely. It was lovely. It was. That's original.
We could almost do Islands in the Stream some night there, karaoke there.
Wow. If I had a little more lung capacity, give me like 2 weeks.
Exactly. So here we go. Once again, our broadcast engineers tonight, Katie Woolen and Lance Monroe. Brimley in their home white jerseys with the blue trim. Newberry in their road black jerseys with the orange and white trim. Brimley 1-1 early on here in the season, while the Newberry Indians are 0-2. This is an EUP conference game, and it's a big one for both squads. Tip won by the Bays. They're going right to left as seen on your radio dial. Zach Gross with the ball for the Bays. Gross now. Bays get off to a good start in Cedarville on Thursday night. It was the third quarter that ended up being their undoing. Zach Gross with the ball on the near side. Now at the free throw line, that's Lipponen sliding it out to Johanson. He puts it off the glass, no good. Gets his own rebound. Johanson puts it up and in. Kaleb Johanson staying with that one, Todd. It's 2-0 Bays.
Staying with his own offense, zone defense on that possession.
Now quickly down court, the Indians have a nice pass underneath, but Jalen James misses the layup. However, he followed up his own rebound, and it's 2-2.
That's a similar play on the other end.
Now here comes Brimley with the ball. Zach Gross across the midcourt line. Pass it to Lyons. Now at the free throw line. That's Lipponen. Now has it stolen by Jalen James. Jalen James with the ball for the Indians. Passing it over to Casey Wendt. Now Wendt almost traveled. Puts it up off the glass. No, but he'll shoot two, as that'll be the first foul in the game for the Brimley Bays.
Well, one thing you can do to Brimley this year is get them to foul. It's not going to be a situation at the end of the game where we're going to play. Plenty of bodies.
Tristan Lyons with the foul. First free throw, no good by Casey Wendt. He'll shoot one more. 2-2 tie, 7:03 to play in the first quarter here in Brimley. Good crowd on a cold Tuesday night. Second free throw up and in by Wendt, his first point. And we have a 3-2 Newberry lead early here in the first quarter. Lipponen now has it stolen again, this time by Casey Wendt. Casey Wendt with the ball. Brimley a little sloppy to start this one. Now in the near corner, George Severns passing it up top to Wendt. Wendt now over to Devin Carson. Between the circles to Casey Wendt. He's being guarded by Lipponen. Now Lipponen comes out a little closer on Wendt. Wendt, right-handed dribble, passing it on the near side to Severns. Now Severns drives, underhanded layup, no good. Rebound off a Brimley player out of bounds. Will stay with Newberry.
A little dribble drive action to see what types of defenses they're going to play, how they're going to collapse on them.
6:32 to play in the first quarter, 3-2 Newberry. Now our first substitution of the night is number 30, Jake Hopper, checking in, replacing Brendan Shornack. Newberry with the ball as they have it. Jalen James passing it to Severns. Now Ethan Edwards wearing the headband. A little old school look there. Now stolen by the Bays. Johanson gets it to Lyons underneath, lays it up and in. Tristan Lyons, his first two, and it's 4-3 Brimley. Quickly down court, Newberry has it, double team, almost stolen. Now Severns has it, being guarded by Gross. Over to Edwards on the right wing. Edwards now, a bad pass. Good pressure defense there by the Bays. Might have caused that turnover, Todd.
A little 2-3 zone defense causes the shooter to not be in position.
Absolutely. 4-3 Brimley, 2 minutes gone by in this first quarter. Tristan Lyons passing over to Gross, now Hopper. Sam Hopper with the ball, passing it inside the Lions. Had it stolen again. Nice play by Jalen James. He's looked good here early for the Newberry Indians.
2 early steals for James.
Now the Indians have it. 4-3 Brimley lead. On the right wing, Carson, keep saying Carlson for some reason. Now James, inside, nice move, right-handed shot short, and that'll be out of bounds as that ball, I think, hit the end line on the missed shot. That was by Ethan Edwards. 5:36 to play in the first quarter. 4-3 lead for the Brimley Bays. Brimley Bays basketball sponsored by the Wicked Sister. Burgers, starters, snacks, shareables, soups, and tapas. Voted the #1 pub in the UP, located on Ashman Street in Sioux, Michigan. Brimley with the ball. Now a long two by Lippinen, far side, good. Nice looking shot there by Hunter. And the Bays are doubling up Newberry at 6-3.
And Coach is right. He has some of the best shooters in the conference. There's no doubt about that.
Now Newberry with the ball. Sevarns thought about the three. Now put up the runner in the lane. No good. Rebound picked up by the Bays. And what do we have here?
Looks to be a loose ball foul after the rebound. A little laziness on that one, it looks like. But
didn't see what the foul was. They're going to call that, I believe, on Newberry, Todd. I was looking down court as it was going on Casey Wendt. So if you're Newberry, you don't really, that's not a foul you really want to take.
Not in this situation, Scott. You're right. The opportunity with the defense is to get back.
Zach Gross with the ball across the midcourt line over to Lippinen. Now inside to Hopper, swinging outside to Lyons, looking inside. Tristan Lyons being guarded by Wendt. Now over to Gross. Tristan Lyons drives along the baseline. That'll be a foul on Sevarns, and that'll be his first, team foul #2 for the Indians. Brimley's kind of settled down after a little bit of a shaky start there the first couple minutes, Todd.
Well, shaky, but these guys they're cool. You can just tell. The ball sometimes doesn't hit the floor. Look at 3 passes in a row, doesn't touch the ground.
Lyons 3 no good, but inside, Lippinen up on the rebound, up and good. Good offensive rebounding by the Brimley Bays. Coach Matt Bathy likes that. It's 8-3 Brimley here in the first quarter. Now quickly down court, up underhanded shot, I should say overhand layup there by Wendt. Nice dribble drive and nice 2. He has 3. It's 8-5 Brimley. As we're almost halfway through now. Hopper in the paint. Hopper, double team. Nice pass to Gross. Wide open up top 3. No good. Rebound inside. Johanson battling for it. And this, I think, could be an advantage for Brimley. Johanson and Shornack, some size underneath, and you're seeing them grab a lot of rebounds early, Todd.
Oh, and they're gritty. They're getting positions. They're not quitting. They're in better positions already than all the Newberry defenders and rebounders.
Dylan Carrick checking in for the Bays, his first action. He was very impressive, I thought, on Thursday night. Now a double team. Newberry with the ball. That's Sevarns, 1-on-4. Nice dish along the baseline. Shot good. That one by James Abram, his first 2. Credit Sevarns with the pass on that one. 8-7 Bays. Halfway through this first quarter. Now Carrick looking inside to Hopper. He turns around, fires, no good. Good looking shot by Hopper, but it just rattled out. Rebound to the Indians. Now Newberry with the ball. Sevarns with it. Now over the far side. That's James launching and hitting a 3. And boy, this Mr. James has looked good. Jalen James with 5, and Newberry up by 2.
I'd like to see Brimley maybe get into a man-to-man here at the end of this first quarter to see what they can do.
Lyons 3 near side short, gets his own rebound, drives the baseline, puts it up off the glass, no, but he'll shoot 2. And again, we'll see how Brimley does on the free throw line tonight because, boy, the first week of the season, it has not been good. And so we'll see if Tristan Lyons can sink a pair of free throws. That's the 3rd team foul. First free throw good, so that's good. Get that monkey off the back, a little bit of the Brimley Bays.
Are you worried about even the Jenks tonight?
Indeed. That foul was on Ethan Edwards, his first. Team foul #3 for the Indians. 10-9 Newberry. Second free throw up. That one's no good, so Brimley 1 of 2 from the line. Rebound picked up by Ethan Edwards. Newberry with the ball. Now quickly down court. Johanson tipped that one out of bounds. He's been impressive here in these first few minutes, Todd.
No, he's got a defensive state of mind, and I think on this team, the way it's built, that's a perfect position for him to play this year.
Now Jay Copper will check in, replacing Johanson. This Brimley team goes really 10-11 deep. You'll see a lot of players rotated in and out of the lineup. Not quite sure on Newberry, but I would imagine they're not as deep as Brimley. Nobody really is in the UP conference. Newberry with the ball. Long NBA 3 went. No good. And that's going to be a foul, I believe, underneath on Sean Hill. He was battling for position, and he'll get called with the foul. Brimley's second.
That could have gone either way. It's early. They're aggressive under the baseline. And Brimley's showing that's their first home game. They're showing a lot of fight.
Newberry with the ball. Now a little inbound. Get it to Edwards. Way up top to Wendt. Now Sevarns has it between the circles. On the left wing, Edwards cutting to the lane. That's Blake Jordan. Now dish it out to Wendt. Long 3. Yes, sir. Casey Wendt with 6 points, and Newberry with a 4-point lead with 2:40 to play in this first quarter.
I hate to say it, they're finding holes in that zone defense.
They sure
We're
are.
athletic enough to play man-to-man.
Now Lyons, nice pass inside to Hopper. Hopper dishes it out, and that's going to go out of bounds. I think if you're Hopper, you got to shoot that shot, Todd.
Yes, you do, but the team is built, Scott, where they want to feed each other. It's a very unselfish group so far.
2:31 to play in the first quarter, 13-9 in favor of the Newberry Indians. Newberry with the ball. Blake Jordan gets it to Wendt. Now on the near side, Sevarns. He played, I believe, quarterback for the football team that made the playoffs this year. George Sevarns with the ball, now deflected, stolen by the Bays. Josh Gross. Now Gross had his pocket picked there by Jordan. Picked up by Jalen James. Newberry with the ball, creating some turnovers, leading by 4. George Sevarns, fancy between the legs dribble. Over to Wendt. Casey Wendt with the ball, right of the lane, dishes it out to Sevarns. Now Sevarns thinks about the 3. Being battled there. Good defense by the Bays on this possession. Now Casey Wendt gets it to Sevarns. He's being guarded by Lyons. Sevarns with it. No shot clock in high school basketball, so you don't have to shoot at any point, but Brimley fans and bench really get into this defensive set. Now here's Jalen James. Along the baseline, being guarded by Gross, a very good defender. Jalen James dishing it inside, and we're going to have a timeout. And I think that's a pretty good timeout there by Newberry, Todd, as Brimley's defense really stepped up play. But it was a nicely called timeout by Newberry and their head coach, Jim Depew.
Yeah, Coach Bathy went man-to-man on that one, kind of confused Newberry a little bit, so they're going to have to readjust. They knew, I think, both teams coming out in the zone offense and defense. It's pretty standard.
Brimley Bays basketball sponsored by Chuck Renzi Ford. You've got a relative in the car business at Chuck Renzi Ford in Newberry. You can find them on 309 Newberry Avenue or on Facebook at Chuck Renzi Ford of Newberry. Bays basketball also brought to you in part by O'Connor's in Pickford. Check out their full line of Dodge, truck, Ram, and Jeep vehicles. 1:30 to play in this first quarter, 13-9 in favor of the Newberry Indians. Leading the way for the Indians right now, Casey Wendt has 6, Jalen James with 5, and for the Bays, Hunter Lippinen with 4, Lyons with 3. Newberry to inbound off the timeout, lob pass. That one's stolen by the Bays. Here's Hopper with it. Sam Hopper passes it to Lyons, lays it up, no good. Rebound picked up by the Indians. Newberry with the ball, Blake Jordan across the midcourt line. Bounce is just not going Brimley's way here in this first quarter. Now a pass underneath. I almost thought there could have been a push on Hill. I think he might have gotten away with that one, Todd.
Well, a little bit, but it's aggressive. They're playing hard. The referees are letting them play tonight.
Here come the Bays with the ball, trailing by 4, minute 5 to play. Josh Gross over to Hill. Back up top to Gross. Now swing it to Lyons. Gross, Hill, thought about the 3. Over to Gross. They're just kind of around the horn now inside. Stolen again by the Indians. Casey Wendt. Now Casey Wendt lost the ball going for the behind the back, and he double dribbled.
A little fast breaking would be nice here. Maybe start the second quarter. Scott, get it up tempo. Make them use their bench. We have a great bench. Let's see if they can stay with us.
Hill with the ball over to Josh Gross. Gross up top to Hill. 40 seconds to play in the first. Now Gross on the right wing, being guarded there by Edwards. Hill up top, 3, no good. Rebound, battled for, picked up by Jalen James. James with the ball for the Indians. They'll probably play for the last shot here with 25 seconds to play in the first quarter. Blake Jordan passes it to Edwards. Edwards being guarded by Lyons on the right wing. Now pass inside to James. Turnaround shot off the glass. No good. Rebound picked up by Hopper. 15 seconds to play. Carrick across the midcourt line for the Bays. Bounce pass went off the leg of Hopper, and so that'll be a kick ball. And will that keep the possession with Brimley? Kind of a break there. It will.
It will, too.
Yeah, Newberry would have gotten that ball off the inadvertent kick, so the Bays catch a break. 10 seconds to play. Inbound to Gross, now back to Hill, looking inside, Hopper, shot, no good, gets his own rebound, and a chance for Newberry with it, 2 seconds, 1, and after 1 quarter of play, shot at the buzzer, no good. Our score, Newberry with a 13-9 lead over the Brimley Bays. We'll be back for the second quarter here on Eagle 95.1. Scott Nason, Todd Olmstead back in Brimley, Michigan. Second quarter already underway in boys basketball. The Newberry Indians with a 13-9 lead over the Brimley Bays. Casey Wendt with 6 for the Indians, while Hunter Lippinen with 4 for the Bays. The Bays with the ball, going left to right as seen on your radio dial. Josh Gross looking inside. Another bad pass, another turnover for the Bays. They've turned it over a lot here in this first half. Now Sevarns, he launches from 3. That one no good. Rebound inside, picked up by Hopper. And I believe that might be a foul on the Newberry Indians, Todd. If it is, it's their 4th.
That's 4 early fouls. Referees are letting him play, so these are real fouls.
Foul will go on number 32, James Abram, his first.
No phantom fouls, but
no.
Brimley has to stop trying to feed inside. Stay with the outside. Get that mid-range jumper. Free throw line extended.
Yeah, this is a good officiating crew. I don't know the third gentleman, but Jim Myers and Ron Van Sloten, 2 of our officials, they're always call a good game. Now inside, nice drive by Josh Gross. He puts it up and in, his first 2, and the Bays cut it to 2. It's 13-11 Newberry. Newberry with the ball. Casey Wendt on the right wing side. Fans really into this game early here, Todd. Now Sevarns, he'll drive, but that'll be a foul before the shot. That's going to go, I believe, on number 34, Zach Gross. If it is, that's his first.
No, Brimley has a fan base tonight hungry for a game in front of them. Newberry travels well.
Yeah, Newberry's brought a lot of people, including 2 radio crews. Our Eagle station. Now we're going to have was that a foul underneath on Newberry?
Pushing off.
Yeah, so that a break for the Bays, as that'll be the 5th team foul on Newberry. And that'll go against number 30, George Severns. So that's a player you want on the bench if you're the Brimley Bays. Severns, one of their better players. Hill with the ball over to Gross. Josh Gross now, he drives. That's going to be an offensive foul. And that was a big call there, as that one could have gone against Severns. If that would have been his 3rd. So that a key call. Instead, they call it on Josh Gross, his 1st.
No, he beat him to the point,
he
Scott.
Did. Yeah, I agree. Good call. Newberry with the ball, leading by 2. Played a minute and change here in this second quarter. We'll be back here on Thursday as the Brimley Bays will take on Engadine, the team that knocked them out of the districts last year here. So that'll be a big play. Now we're going to have an over and back call, as that was a nice play. Dylan Carrick causing the turnover against the Indians.
If you stay hungry defensively, you're going to stay in every single game you play in a given year.
After Lippinen to inbound, near sideline to Carrick. Carrick with the left-handed dribble, being guarded by James. Now Lippinen back to Carrick. Carrick now inside, pass, shot by Gross, no good. Rebound, Gross gets his own rebound, puts it up and in. Number 34, Zach Gross, his first 2. We have a tie ball game with 6:15 to play in the second quarter. Casey Wendt with the ball, and that's going to be deflected off a Newberry player out of bounds. Good defense and some high energy by Zach Gross out there.
He's definitely playing with loads of energy. It's great to see. This whole team in Brimley plays with lots of energy.
Timeout on the court, 6:09 to play in this second quarter. We have a 13-13 tie. Brimley Bays basketball sponsored in part by Bay Mills Resort and Wild Bluff Golf Course. Come play at the Bay. Also brought to you by Baymart, Sunoco, and Gift Shop. Stop in before the game. They have 3 for $3 Powerade or 2 for $3.50 Monsters. Also have fresh coffee, donuts, and competitive fuel prices. And Bays basketball sponsored by Mimic Insurance and Doug LaPrade Agency, meeting all your insurance needs. So, Todd, thoughts on the game so far? A 13-13 tie. Newberry seems to have caused a lot of commotion as far as Brimley and some of these turnovers, but this just has the feel of one of these types of games that's going to really, I think, be close throughout unless one team really gets hot at this point.
You're exactly right, Scott. Well said. Both teams playing really well. It's 13-13, obviously. Brimley having the home court in their advantage hopefully will pull them through at the end. And just body language right now. Newberry searching, giving them different defensive looks. Coach Bathy doing a wonderful job tonight, giving them different looks.
So here we go. The Bays and Indians tied at 13. 6:09 to play in the second quarter. Hill with the ball. Gets it to Lippinen. Now back to Hill between the circles. Carrick on the right wing. Over to Hill. They're swinging around the three-point arc a lot. Up to Hill. Hill with the ball over to Carrick. Now Carrick on the far side, back to Hill. Now Hill drives over to Lippinen. Thought about the 3, now drives, dishes it out to Carrick. Nice ball movement. Hopper along the baseline. Gets it to Gross, over to Carrick. Now Hill open, near side. Hill launch from 3, no good. Bays have not hit a 3, and that's going to be an over the back on number 22, Sam Hopper. And that'll be Hopper's first foul, team foul number 5. Good ball movement there, Todd, but
it's almost too good in a way, right?
Yeah, you want them. It's almost like a power play in hockey. Eventually, you got to shoot the puck. That being a hockey guy, of course, coming up with that analogy. Now along the baseline, that's Carson's shot. That went way off. Rebounded by Lipinen. Now here comes Brimley. Hunter Lipinen with the ball. Lipinen, double team, gets it inside to Gross. Now bodies to the floor as number 10, Matthew Berry, jumped for that one. Possession will stay with the Bays. Now Sean Hill getting a little excited there on the going after that. A little extracurricular activity there. Getting a little intense out there, Todd.
They're fired up for the first home game.
Yeah.
They want to redeem from Thursday. You can see it.
Now Sean Hill with the ball. Gets it up top. That's Lipinen. Lipinen over to Carrick. We haven't seen Shornack for a while. Todd, kind of surprising considering the game he had on Thursday. Almost think he'd be a good matchup out there right now. But I'm not the coach, so I'm not going to go there. Now, I guess I just did. But now here's Carrick with the ball over to Hill. Back to Carrick between the circles. Over to Lipinen. Open right wing three. Off. Rebound. Hopper inside. Well, a jump ball this time will go to the Indians.
The Hopper with nice position, obviously, that time. And he was about 2 steps from getting that position on the last possession.
And the Bays struggling to get a game inside right now. That's going to be a foul off the inbound play. And that'll go on Newberry. I didn't see what happened there, Todd. That's going to go against number 42, Devin Carson, his first. So here we go. Bays with the ball. We're tied at 13. Hill with it between the circles. Over to Carrick. Now he'll launch from 3. No good. Bays just can't buy a three-pointer. Rebounded by Hopper inside. He loses the ball. Picked up by Carson. Newberry with it. We're tied at 13. 4:30 to play in the second quarter. Indians with it. On the right wing, Berry being guarded by Gross. Now Carson along the baseline. Back to Berry. He'll drive the baseline. Nice pass inside. Oh, and almost a block there by Hill, but he'll commit the foul. And that'll be the 16th foul on the Brimley Bays. That'll send number 42, Devin Carson, to the line, shooting 2.
Well, Newberry gets a rest here defensively because it's been 6-7 passes, 8 passes for Brimley on the offensive end.
Free throw no good by Carson, so the Indians 1 of 3. Not a lot of free throws in this game. Newberry just 1 of 2 from the line. As Hill, that was his second foul. He'll go sit down along with number 22, Sam Hopper. So the 5 out there for the Bays right now. Shornack, who is in. Zach Gross, along with Lipinen, Lyons, and Carrick. Second free throw no good. Rebound inside. Well, a jump ball this time will go to the Bays. 4:19 to play in the second quarter. We haven't had a point here in a couple minutes. Bays with the ball. Tied at 13 with Newberry. First of 2 meetings. Now here's Lyons. Open near side 3. Yes, sir. Finally, the Bays get a 3-pointer to drop. That's Tristan Lyons' 6th point. And Bays have a 3-point lead halfway through the second quarter. Newberry with the ball. McCudden gets it to Sevarns. He drives. Triple team, no, but he'll be fouled. And George Sevarns will shoot 2 for the Newberry Indians.
Definitely challenged on most shots. Brimley has challenged every single shot that Newberry has taken. And they're going to continue to do it.
That foul on Zach Gross, his second. So at the line, George Sevarns shooting 2. Newberry 1 of 4 from the line. Make it 2 of 5 as Sevarns sinks that. That his first point of the night. Cutting the deficit to 2. Now Sean Hill coming back in with those 2 fouls, replacing number 34, Zach Gross. Sevarns at the line, shooting the second. He drains them both. That cuts the lead to 1. As now number 30, Jake Hopper, checking in, replacing Hill. So Hill was in for all of about 5 seconds. It goes back to the bench. Now here's Carrick with it. Left-handed dribble for the Bays. Brimley leading by 1. Near side Lyons. Thought about the 3 that time, but a little better defense on that one. Hopper over to Lipinen. Now Lyons on the far side. Lyons thought about the 3 again. Swinging over to Carrick. Carrick. Lipinen. Lyons. Bays really depending on the outside shot right now. Now Carrick, nice move inside. Dishes out to Lyons. Now Lyons lost it. Picked up by Sevarns. 3:25 to play in the second quarter. We'll have our Superior Pizza and Subs halftime show coming up, as we'll have Vance and Liam Nason with their thoughts, both at the same time. Hold on to your seatbelts, folks. I know I am. Now here's a 3 on the far side. That one no good. Rebounded by the Bays. Lipinen. Now Lipinen, as he got knocked down there. That's got to be a foul on Newberry. A bit of a physical play, but you know what? The Newberry fans like the hustle. I don't blame them. That was a nice play.
That was a very good hustle play.
Oh, they didn't call a foul.
No, out of bounds.
They're calling it on Brimley. Oh, wow. So that will be a foul on Brimley. They're going to give that foul to Lippinen, his first. So that'll be a 1-and-1 situation for the Newberry Indians' Casey Wendt, as the officials thought that it was Lippinen indeed that created that contact. And so Wendt makes his free throw. He had 7 to lead all scorers. And that has tied up this game once again at 16. 3:06 to play in the second quarter. And so Wendt makes them both. Newberry's made 4 free throws in a row. And they have a 1-point lead. 3 minutes to play here in this second quarter. Now the Bays with the ball. Lyons over to Carrick between the circles. Hopper thought about the 3. Gets it over to Lippinen. Now Lyons. Over to Lippinen. Lippinen drives. Lippinen swings it over to Lyons. Nice pass. Lyons thought about the 3, but he'll shoot the long 2. Good. Tristan Lyons starting to feel it a little bit.
Nice dribble, stop, pops that, 18-footer I was just talking about earlier. Let's not worry about the 3. Take that inside shot. Dribble drive, you're going to set that defense up for being out of position. So if there's a rebound, Brimley will be able to take over and get that bucket, hopefully.
2:39 to play in the second quarter. Brimley with a 1-point lead over Newberry. Todd and I will be back here on Thursday night for boys basketball as the Engadine Eagles will invade the Karl Parker Memorial Gymnasium to take on the Brimley Bays, and then we'll have one more game before the new year next Tuesday down in Mackinac City as the boys will take on the Mackinac City Comets, and that'll be it for 2017. But we have a lot of games in 2018, a lot more girls games coming up in January, and then of course we'll have many boys games as well, as we have 20 regular season games, 10 girls, 10 boys, and hopefully quite a few in the postseason as well. Now Newberry off the timeout with the ball, trailing by 1. Nice pass down court. Now here's driving the baseline. Nice little circus shot, but it doesn't go. That one by Casey Wendt, rebounded by the Bays. Here's Lyons. He's been the hot hand for Brimley. Getting it to Carrick. Brimley really unable to establish an inside game here in the second quarter. They're depending totally on the outside shot. Now here's Hopper with it. Hopper over to Lippinen. Lyons, he's the hot hand. He'll launch from 3. That one's no good. Rebound inside, picked up by the Indians, Edwards. Now Edwards at the midcourt line. 2 minutes to play in this second quarter. Low scoring game. Brimley leads by 1. Casey Wendt between the circles, being guarded by Lippinen. Now on the right wing, Andre James, number 24, his first action. Now Wendt has it. Wendt looking inside. James in the free throw at the paint rather, misses the easy shot. Rebounded by Carrick. Bays with it, leading by 1. $1:40 to play in the second quarter. Lippinen over to Lyons. Now on the left wing, Carrick between the circles. Hopper. Bounce pass, far side. That's Lippinen. Over to Lyons. Lyons likes those corner shots. Now Hopper, now inside. Shornack, turnaround shot, good. Brimley needs more of that.
Needs more. There are 7 passes to get it inside.
That's right.
Full court press.
Shornack's first 2, and that's going to be a turnover on Newberry as Ethan Edwards, kind of a lack of concentration there, will turn the ball over. So
there's nothing like a team after they score and they get back in that full court pressure. Just something about that excitement that you from getting that score.
Minute 20 to play here in the second quarter. Bays with the ball, leading by 3. Their biggest lead of the night, I think, has been 3. It's been close throughout this game. Now here's Hopper with it on the left wing side. Jake Hopper over the near side. Lyons. Now Lyons over to Lippinen. Carrick, top of the circle, swings it over Lyons. Open, near side, 3. That one short. Rebound, battled for, picked up by the Indians. That's Ethan Edwards. Now Edwards drives, swatted away by Lyons, but I think they're going to call the foul.
Good hustle by Tristan to get back on defense.
That's Lyons' second. So Zach Gross and Tristan Lyons, along with Sean Hill, each with 2 for the Bays. And I believe that's a shooting foul, so that'll be 2 free throws for Mr. Ethan Edwards. First free throw up. That one rattles out. Bays have only been to the line twice tonight. 1 for 2, so 50%. You got to be happy with that number, but you want to get to the line more than twice and a half. Second free throw up by Edwards. That one rattles out, so Newberry misses both free throws. Rebounded by the Bays. Hopper gets it to Carrick across the midcourt line. Carrick, Jake Hopper, now Carrick. Looking for Gross, open in the far corner. He's going to launch it. That one's way off the mark. Josh Gross with that three-point opportunity, rebounded by the Indians. 30 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Fast-moving first half here in Brimley. Newberry with it. On the far side, that's Abram. Top of the circle, Edwards. 15 seconds to play in the half. Over to Abram on the far sideline. Now Abram being trapped there by Shornack. Gets it to Andre James. 5 seconds. Sevarns with it. Good defense by the base. Sevarns drives, puts up the shot at the buzzer. Good. Sevarns puts in the 2. And we have a 1-point game at halftime. It's Brimley 20, the Newberry Indians 19. Coming up, we'll have our Superior Pizza and Subs halftime show here on Eagle 95.1. Scott Nason back in Brimley, Michigan for our Superior Pizza and Subs halftime show. Superior Pizza and Subs located on West 6 Mile in Brimley, Michigan, right across from the Brimley State Park. They have the best pizza in town. Also have some fantastic subs at Superior Pizza and Subs. Our score at halftime in boys basketball, the Brimley Bays lead the Newberry Indians by the score of 20-19. And joining us here in our halftime segment for the first time ever, we're going to have co-analyst of the first half. First of all, we're going to start with my oldest son, Vance Nason. Vance, thanks for joining us once again on Brimley Bays basketball.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, Vance, what did you think of the first half? Brimley and Newberry, it's one of those games that is very hotly contested, players diving for loose balls. Brimley leads by the score of 20-19. What are your thoughts on the first half?
I really think that Brimley did not do a good job of crashing the boards at all. They weren't boxing out. They just weren't doing anything to get rebounds, and that really cost them because the Newberry would get the rebound and the score. So that's why they were down early. Then they started coming back. I wouldn't say that they did a little bit better on crashing the boards. They got a few more rebounds, and since they did that, they scored off those turnovers, that one backcourt violation that happened, and I think that was the turnaround point in this half.
And Liam Nason joining us as well. Liam, what did you think about the first half? Pretty intense action out there, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought Brimley did pretty good, but Vance was I'm kidding. Vance was right, and I'm kidding.
You lost your train of thought. Let's reevaluate there. You're thinking about the first half, Liam. I mean, Brimley, had trouble with rebounds, but they are leading by 1. What do you think they need to do in the second half, Liam, as far as if they're going to win this game? What are some of the things they need to do out there?
Score.
They need to score. Okay, that always helps in basketball. Should they do some more inside shots, or do you think maybe they should depend on the three-pointers? We haven't seen them make a lot of three-pointers. What do you think?
I don't know.
Okay, well,
I think that Brimley needs to, because they're trying to force it in there. So I think the coach, Matt Bathy, needs to come up with some type of plan to get it inside, but not test it. So if they don't come up with a plan, then they need to try those outside shots because Newberry's pinching up in the paint.
Gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining us on the halftime show. I know you guys are chomping at the bit to get some concessions. They have great concessions here in Brimley, and thanks for your analysis, both Vance and Liam.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
And we'll be back with more Brimley Bays basketball on Eagle 95.1. Scott Nason, Todd Olmsted back in Brimley, Michigan in our Superior Pizza and Subs halftime show as we heard from both Nason boys, Vance and Liam Nason. Note to self, maybe have them on separately. They have that little brother competition as far as big brother, little brother, but hey, they're great kids, and not many 9 and 11-year-olds can go on the radio, Todd, and do what they do.
That's
so
right.
Very, very proud of them.
11-year-old's better than both of us anyway, so I'm just like, I can understand. Young guy.
Well, your analysis as far as the first half, Todd, I mean, it's a close affair. Brimley leads Newberry 20-19. Your thoughts on the first half?
We talked a little off mic about the unselfish nature of this ball club in Brimley. There was at times a bit better flow than when we see. The flow needs to be there 75% of the time to be successful, especially on offense. It just doesn't seem that everything is clicking. Coach told us a long time ago, though, they're an unselfish group, and it's definitely showing.
So here we go, Newberry with the ball, trailing by 1, going right to left as seen on your radio dial. Neither team has led by more than 3. It's been a tight one here in Brimley. Jalen James has it stolen by Lyons. Tristan Lyons with the ball. Lyons up top to Shornack. Over on the right wing side. That's Hunter Lippinen. We'll recap the scoring stats or player stats here on our next whistle. Lippinen with the ball. Swinging over to Zach Gross. Now inside, nice cut. Off the glass, no good. That one by Lippinen, rebounded by the Newberry Indians. Newberry with the ball. Long pass across midcourt line. Sevarns with it. Sevarns on the left wing side. Now dishes it to Edwards. Edwards over to Sevarns. Along the baseline. I almost had it stolen by Lyons. They do. Nice defense there by Lyons and Shornack. Now here's Gross with it. Gross with the ball over to a wide open Lippinen. Passes the shot. Moves it inside. Now in the paint. Puts up the shot. No good. Rebound. Battled for. Picked up by the Indians. Newberry with the ball. Low scoring game here in Brimley.
You know, Newberry's doing the right thing right now, Scott. Kind of slowing it up, setting the pace for the second half.
Indians with the ball. Ethan Edwards. Inside, had it swatted away and stolen by Shornack. Here comes Brimley. Lippinen with it. Lippinen, nice pass inside to Gross. Puts it up off the glass and in. Zach Gross with the 2 points. He has 4. And the Bays lead by 3. 6:20 to play in the third quarter. Now another steal. Brimley defense really causing problems. Lippinen inside. Puts a circus shot. No good. Rebound inside. Up and in by Johanson. He has 4. Brimley has their biggest lead of the night. It's 5.
Johanson, a garbage man, and they're full court pressing right now, Scott.
Yeah, and it's causing turnovers now as Newberry does break it across the midcourt line. Taken there by Wendt. He launches from 3. That one way off the mark. Rebound off the end line off a Newberry player. Goes back to the Brimley Bays. Boy, they have come out with some intensity here in the third quarter. Something we didn't see in Cedarville on Thursday, Todd.
You know, Coach gave him a talking to, saying, hey, this is your first home game, gentlemen.
Absolutely. Bays with the ball, leading by 5. We played 2 minutes of this third quarter. Lippinen over to Lyons on the right wing. Now Johanson to Shornack. Shornack over to Gross. Lyons with it. Lyons top of the circle on the right wing. Johanson. Lyons now between the circles. Gross. 5:30 to play in this third quarter. Brimley leading by 5, looking to prove to 2-1 on the season. Now here's Lippinen, left elbow, nice pass inside, up off the glass and in by Johanson. Brimley now starting to work that inside game, Todd. And now the full court press applied again, really causing Newberry some problems. And we're going to have a timeout, I believe, by Newberry with 5:15 to play in the third quarter. Brimley's come out on fire here in this third quarter. They lead 26-19. So a timeout on the court. Let's recap the scoring there, Todd, as far as Brimley. They're led right now by Tristan Lyons. He has 8. Kaleb Johanson with 6. Hunter Lippinen with 4. You also have Zach Gross with 4. Josh Gross with 2. And Brendan Shornack with 2. For Newberry, Casey Wendt. He has 8 points, along with Jalen James with 5. George Sevarns with 4. And James Abram with 2. So Newberry has come out on fire here, Todd, outscoring the Indians 6-0 to start this third quarter.
Tempos want to be established by both sides, Scott. Newberry wants to slow it down. Brimley wants to speed it up. They want to play that full court style defense, which I think you could play all game.
And they're doing it now. Almost a steal at the midcourt line. Great hustle by Kaleb Johanson. Almost knocked a couple girls going to the concession stand over. That's what you never want to go during play. Wait till there's the stoppage in play. It's never.
They might have wanted to have that.
I think so. They had great concessions here. We'll say that. Now Newberry with the ball, looking for their first points in the third quarter. Again, this Brimley intensity, good to see. If you're Coach Matt Bates, you got to love seeing this. The fans certainly are on this side of the court. Now in the paint, tough shot by Sevarns, no good. Rebounded by Lyons. He's got Lippinen with him. Lyons now to the basket, stutter step move, shot off the glass, good. Tristan Lyons in double digits with 10. It's an 8-0 run to start this third quarter. Now inside, Newberry had a block by Johanson. Nice block inside. They're going to call a foul. I think that was after the block, though, as that's going to go, I believe, against Brimley. That's their first foul. That's going to go on Lippinen, his second. Newberry with it, inbounding. And that's going to be a foul. You don't want to do that, really, if you're Shornack. Not a good foul by him, but that's only his first off the inbound play.
Brimley's long, gets you into trouble from time to time, but they are a long bunch.
4:37 to play in this third quarter, and now Shornack will be replaced by number 22, Sam Hopper. Still have to look at the program to differentiate between him and Jake. I mean, they are twins. But
right.
they still have trouble. I still don't know which one's which. Good thing they have numbers now. Brimley's starting to rack up the fouls as a good drive to the basket by Wendt. He'll be rewarded with a pair of free throws. That'll be the third foul on Brimley.
Well, if you're Newberry, this is what you kind of want to do. Get the free throw line, get yourself some rest because they're not as deep as we've seen with the Bays.
Yeah, Newberry 5 of 10 from the free throw line. Brimley just 1 of 2. Free throw up and in by number 20, Casey Wendt. He has 9, and now Lipinen and Gross. Number 34, Zach Gross will take a seat. Be replaced by Carrick and Hill. 4:29 to play in the third quarter. 28-20 in favor of Brimley. Now second free throw up and in by Wendt. He's in double digits with 10. And cuts the lead to 7. Brimley with the ball. They led 20-19 at half, outscoring Newberry 8-2 here in this third quarter. Now along the baseline, driving. Hopper misses the shot, gets his own rebound. Now Hopper loses the ball, had it taken out of his hands. There by Sevarns. Ethan Edwards across the midcourt line. Now a long 3 up top, off the back iron, no. Rebound, battled inside, picked up by Carrick. Dylan Carrick with the ball. 4 minutes to play in this third quarter. Newberry trailing by 7. Now a steal by Edwards. Off a Hill. Rebounded by, or rather taken by the Indians. Between the circles, that's Sevarns. Gets it to Wendt. Wendt now had it stolen by Lyons. Tristan Lyons with the ball. Now Lyons drives along the baseline. He was held up by number 20, Casey Wendt. That's probably a good foul for him because I think Lyons lays that one up if he doesn't do that.
Yeah, that's like on the football field when the receivers beat the defensive back on that one.
Right. Now lob pass up top, Hopper. Sam Hopper now in the paint, puts up the shot. Good. So Sam Hopper gets his first 2. As the Bays now lead by 9 again. 3:30 to play in the third quarter. Now a push off there. They're going to call a blocking foul on number 32, Tristan Lyons. That's his third. So Coach Matt Bates, you have to be careful with Tristan with 3 fouls. You definitely don't want him to get his 4th here in this third quarter.
All you got to do is whisper in his ear, just say not as aggressive as before.
Brimley Bays basketball sponsored by the Chippewa County Credit Union, where all families make one union, serving all of Chippewa County, a member NCUA and equal housing lender. Indians with the ball, trailing by 9, 3:20 to play in this third quarter. Now Newberry with it. Abram gets it up top. Edwards thought about the 3, but he'll travel. Good call there by the official on the spot. So Brimley takes it over. 3:16 to play in this third quarter. The Indians will be at home again, the Bays will be at home on Thursday taking on Engadine. We'll have that call around 7:15 pregame show. Now Carrick with it. Top of the circle. Taken by Zach Gross. Over to Josh Gross. Both Grosses out there. Now pass inside. Johanson. Turnaround shot. Good. Kaleb Johanson really playing well here in this third quarter. He has 8 in the game, and the Bays lead by double digits.
Out of all the Bays, he's playing the best with his back to the bucket.
Absolutely. Newberry looking for some offense here in the third quarter. Sevarns with it. Dishes it out to Abram. Now Abram along the baseline. Good defense. Oh, nice pass there by Abram. Gets it to Sevarns. That shot no good. Rebound inside, and credit Abram there really battling hard. He was double teamed. He got that pass out, and he got the rebound, creating the foul on Brimley.
Yeah, the officials really aren't rewarding the Bays' hustle at this. Well, the last about 4 minutes in between foul calls, but the Bays are so aggressive and hungry.
And that aggressiveness is causing fouls. That's their 5th. That one on Johanson. Now a runner with the right hand. No good by Sevarns. Rebound. Battled for, and whoa, as that one just went off the back of Josh Gross as the Newberry player was going out of bounds. He did one of those throw off the backs, and it didn't get much of Gross, but it got some.
Let me see how hard it can throw it off you.
Yeah.
At that point.
Now Newberry to inbound along the baseline. Abram. Now Abram loses the ball as Gross gets knocked down. Again, that was a pretty physical contact. It wasn't malicious. He was just going for the ball, and that will be a foul on Wendt. That'll be his 3rd.
Yeah, Newberry coach definitely replacing young men, knowing that's not a great foul, especially right in front of your bench.
So Brimley with the ball, 2:20 to play in the third quarter. They're reversing what happened on Thursday in Cedarville, where they were outscored 19-8 in that third quarter against the Trojans. That really cost them the game. Up top, that's Josh Gross. Nice pass inside to Gross. Gross to Gross. And we'll give that one to Josh Gross. Zach with the pass, and Newberry has trails by 13. 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Driving to the hoop went no good. Rebound by Johanson. Boy, the Bays are playing as good as they've played all year long. Granted, it's the third game, but they're playing pretty darn good, and that's going to be a foul, I believe, on Jalen James. That'll be the third team foul on Newberry here in the second half.
Getting back to that Cedarville game really quick, they had about 10 points in 6 seconds, didn't they?
Yeah, it was crazy. Brimley with the ball, outscoring Newberry 14-2 in this third quarter. That's how you do it at home. Now a pass that gets deflected out of bounds. What a play by Johanson. But he goes across the midcourt line, over and back. Good call, Jim Myers. He was right there.
It was a good call. He missed 2 fouls on that, though. It's all right. Didn't want to really say anything about that.
I'll tell that to Jimmy.
He's a good man.
Going to get me in trouble. 1 minute 40 to play here in the third quarter. 34-21 in favor of the Brimley Bays. Now Newberry with it. James has the ball, drives off the back iron. No rebound inside, battled for. And that's going to be... They're going to say it went off a Brimley player out of bounds, so Newberry will keep it. Minute 28 to play in this third quarter. Tense high school basketball here in Brimley. Newberry with the ball. Jackson McCudden on the near side. Baseline runner, no good. James on the rebound, battled for. Kept alive by Hopper, but it goes right back to James. Now James pushes off, but they're going to say that one's going to go against, I believe, Gross. Josh Gross, that'll be his second. Team foul number 6. So fouls start to become an issue for the Brimley Bays, Todd, as one more foul, and Newberry's going to be shooting a lot of free throws. And right now, Newberry's 7 of 12 from the line. Bounce pass inside, driving to the basket. That one's swatted away by Sam Hopper off of Blake Jordan. Nice play by Sam Hopper. Boy, Brimley's defense.
That was infectious right there, wasn't it?
Now the Indians to inbound. Lob pass. That might go across the midcourt line. That's okay. That's not over and back. So the Bays will, rather Newberry has it. If it doesn't touch anybody, you can do that all day. Some of the fans thought that wasn't a good call. That was a correct call. That'll be a foul on Newberry on the offensive end. Newberry's starting to get a little frustrated out there, Todd.
Well, they might be getting a little tired like we talked about at the beginning of the game. The numbers aren't theirs. As far as it goes as men on the court.
That foul on Abram, his second, team foul number 4. Brimley with the ball, leading by 13. Under a minute to play here in the third quarter. Hopper double team near corner. Newberry trying to mix it up defensively to try to cause some commotion. And coach, I believe Matt Bathy got a timeout with 52 seconds to play in the third quarter as the Brimley Bays outscoring Newberry, Todd, in this third quarter 14-2. And they lead by the score of 34-21.
A great quarter to be had, and like you said, probably their best quarter so far of this young season. Coming out, outscoring the Indians, also just showing the I'm not going to say patience, but passion, mixed with a little bit of patience on offense, getting the good shots.
Brimley Bays basketball brought to you by Bay Mills Community College, committed to providing affordable, culturally relevant, accessible, and high-quality educational opportunities to all. You can apply online at bmcc.edu today. Also brought to you by the Wicked Sister. Burgers, starters, snacks, shareables, soups, and tapas. Voted the #1 pub in the UP. Located on Ashman Street in Sioux, Michigan. And host of our sports show, The Game, heard on Monday nights on Eagle 95.1. Now the Bays off the inbound. Carrick gets it to Hopper. 50 seconds to play. Bays don't want this quarter to end. It's been their best quarter of the season by far. Jake Hopper passing it to his brother Sam. Now Sam Hopper, double team near quarter. Gets out of it. Sam Hopper now dishes it up top. That's Gross. Over to Hopper. Sam Hopper with the 3. Yes, sir!
Smooth looking three-pointer, Scott.
We'll say that's Jake Hopper. Again, I confuse them all the time. They're twins. Now a steal off the inbound as the Bays rolling. Inside, Jake Hopper from Sam again. Jake Hopper with 5. Bays lead by 18 with 20 seconds to play in the quarter. Here's Abrams with a wild shot off the back heel. No, rebounded to Hopper. Here's Carrick. Now this is how Brimley can play right here.
This is
Carrick drives. Nice pass to Johanson. Had it swatted out of his hands. A little size disadvantage there by Jackson McCudden, but he makes a great defensive play. Todd, you were saying.
I was going to say that their favorite part of practice is that fast break drill.
Well, this is just what the doctor ordered if you're Matt Batey and the Brimley Bays. 5.5 seconds. Lob pass to Hopper. Up top to Johanson. Now Hopper's got to shoot at 1 at the buzzer. Yes, sir! Sam Hopper drains the 3. Brimley outscores Newberry by a 22-2 margin in that third quarter, and they lead by the score of 42-21. We'll take a break and be back with the fourth quarter here on Eagle 95.1. Back to action here at the Karl Parker Memorial Gymnasium in Brimley, Michigan. The Bays outscore Newberry 22-2 in that third quarter, and they want more as quickly. Johanson gets in double digits with 10 as they lead Newberry 44-21. Boy, a switch has just been turned on for this Brimley Bays team. They look like a totally different team. Now Carrick drives the baseline. That one goes off the hands of Jake Hopper. That's about the first thing that Brimley's done wrong, Todd, in probably about 15 minutes.
This is a style of play they can adapt and be successful. It's early. You can take a look at all the games and see what you'd like to do. They have the numbers.
And this is what you really expected out of this Brimley's team. This is how dangerous they can be on both sides of the ball, and you're seeing it right now, and you're seeing it with depth and high-intensity energy and playing smart. Now here's Newberry with it, almost a travel there, as Blake Jordan has it on left wing. Newberry with just 2 points in this half. Still looking for something. Again, credit Brimley's defense. They haven't had a lot of shots.
And they've been full court press since halftime.
Yeah, exactly. That's really the key. Good adjustment by Coach Matt Bathy and the coaching staff, creating that full court press. Now Edwards gets it to Slot up top. Newberry trying to find something. They got a long way to go, and that pass that goes out of bounds will go to Brimley. Leading the way for the Bays, Tristan Lyons. He has 10. You have Kaleb Johanson with 10. 5 from Sam Hopper, 5 from Jake Hopper. 4 apiece, Josh Gross, Zach Gross, and Hunter Lippin. And again, getting it from all over the place, Todd, as far as scoring.
Let's keep it going, Scott. What do you think?
Lions, well, hey, they think you are correct. Now here's Hopper along the baseline. Shornak going for that ball. Kept it alive. Nice play. Gets it to Lyons. Pass deflected there by Edwards. That's really probably only the second turnover in this half for Brimley. Now no-look pass inside to Jordan along the far sideline. Jordan being pressured by Hopper. Now Jordan in the paint. Puts up the shot. No good. Rebounded by Lyons. Bays have it, leading by 23. They led by 2 at half. Lyons with the ball over along the far sideline. That's Gross. Zach Gross. Lyons between the circles to Jake Hopper. Now inside, Sam Hopper picks up the ball and one. As Sam Hopper puts that one in, it just kind of found him, and he puts it in for his 7th point.
Well, it went off of 2 Newberry defenders.
Yeah, like a pinball pass. That foul will go against Newberry's Edwards, his second. So Sam Hopper with some big minutes here in the second half. 7 points all in this half. And the Bays now rolling. Hopper's free throw, only the 3rd free throw for the Bays. That one missed and rebounded, goes out of bounds, will stay with Brimley. Now Dante Capelli, his first action of the night, as he will check in, replacing Jake Hopper. 6:08 to play in this fourth quarter. Brimley with a 46-21 lead. Shornak over to Lyons on the right wing. Tristan Lyons gets it to Gross. Zach Gross, number 34, over to Capelli. Now Sam Hopper, far sideline. Up top to Lyons. Now Lyons over to Capelli. Capelli swinging it in the near corner. Hopper. Pass up top. Over to Capelli now on the far side. Back to Gross. Zach Gross with the ball over to Capelli. Now far corner. Sam Hopper. Up top to Lyons. Swinging over to Capelli.
About 17 passes there, Scott, and they still have the ball.
And 3 sneezes by me.
And
that'll be a foul. Thank you. Times 3. As that one will be foul on Newberry. That'll be their 6th. That'll go against Edwards, his 3rd. 5:26 to play in this fourth quarter. Newberry still with just 2 points in this half. My goodness. Ball goes out of bounds. Bays will inbound right in front of Superintendent Brian Riator with a very ugly shirt. He's a Michigan fan, so I can say that. Now a steal by the Newberry Indians, taken right back by the Bays. Tristan Lyons across the midcourt line. Lyons over to Gross. Bays in no hurry here. They're in total control of this game. Dante Capelli over in the near side. Gross looking inside. Sam Hopper. Hopper along the baseline. Swings it out to Lyons. Under 5 to play in this fourth quarter. Coming up, we'll have our post-game show. We'll recap the scoring. Hear from Vance on his thoughts on the game. We'll also talk to Coach Matt Bathy, who I would say will be skipping up here. Now Hopper drives to the basket. That one no good. Rebounded. Shornack up and in. And Vance said at halftime, Todd, again, very key on him. The Bays got to crash the boards. Boy, they're crashing everything right now.
They are just jumping. Even when the shot's not taken, they're jumping.
Now a long three by Sevarns, no good. Rebound inside, goes off a Newberry player out of bounds as the Bays will get it. Bays outscoring Newberry in the second half, 28-2. My goodness.
Oh, that up-tempo style really suits this young team well.
We'll be here on Thursday night as Brimley will have all sorts of confidence right now as they will take on Engadine on Thursday. A revenge match as the team that knocked the Bays out of districts here at home. And the districts are in Engadine this year, so that's going to be a key game. And boy, Brimley can keep up half this intensity on both sides of the ball. They're going to be in pretty good shape against a very good Engadine team.
I'm excited to see what Coach is going to do tomorrow in practice to prepare them for that game. If they do anything like the second half, they start the first half of the next game like the second half and maybe see where they're at. You can implement different styles of coaching, and I think that's what Matt's really doing. He's being super patient. We're both up here all excited about the game, but Coach is patient. He knows his team, and he knows what's to be expected at each corner, it seems like.
Brimley Bays basketball sponsored by Chuck Renzi Ford. You've got a relative in the car business at Chuck Renzi Ford in Newberry. They're located on 309 Newberry Avenue. You can also find them on Facebook at Chuck Renzi Ford of Newberry. Bays basketball also sponsored by O'Connor's in Pickford. Check out their full line of Dodge, truck, Ram, and Jeep vehicles. So off the timeout, 48-21 in favor of the Brimley Bays as they are set to improve to 2-1 on the season, 1-1 in conference play, and that's something very important to Brimley as far as conference championships. You want to win your home games during the conference and then try to steal a couple road games. A long ways to go. And, anytime you start losing conference home games, Todd, that makes it a lot tougher to win the conference. Even if it's early, then it means you got to grab a few extra games on the road. Brimley doesn't want to give up home court advantage. They definitely have it tonight.
They do. You're totally right about everything. You don't want to drop any home games if possible.
So Newberry yet without a field goal in the second half. They're only 2 points from the free throw line in the third quarter. Now Davis puts up a shot, no good. It's just not going the Indians' way here in the second half as we are under 4 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Bays with the ball, leading big, 48-21. Josh Gross along the far sideline, looking inside, cutting Capelli up and in. Nice play by Dante Capelli, a guy that doesn't get a lot of minutes, but boy, he made a nice cut to the basket and a nice pass by Gross.
He's athletic, smooth. He's the perfect three guy on a team. He's a perfect slashing forward.
50-21 Brimley. Who would have thought this at halftime? Now a pass deflected by Carrick. Carrick leads the break, 3-on-2. He's got Hill with him. Now Carrick over to Capelli. Why not launch from three? That one's no good. Rebound picked up by Carson for the Indians. Newberry with the ball. Andre James gets it over to Carson. Now Carson inside. That one goes off of Wendt. As everything going Brimley's way. Circus shot by Sevarns, no good. He's just going to launch a three. That one no good. Rebounded by Gross. Josh Gross with the ball. Gross just going to back it up smartly. No need to press right now. You're up big. Coach Matt Bathy takes a timeout. Newberry being outscored by Brimley 30-2 in the second half. I can't think of a game I've done, Todd, where I've seen such a close game. We said it. This has the look of a game that is going to be close throughout. Well, obviously, we were dead wrong.
You could use the phrase a 30-2 run to start the second half.
My goodness sakes, it's been all Brimley. And again, Newberry has not played a good second half. Let's not say what's happening, but Brimley, just intensity, and they've kept it throughout. And, if you're a coach, obviously you want to bottle this half up and use it at any point during the season as far as another game. But, how do you recreate this as a coach? I mean, is it just one of those things where the stars aligned, or does this team start to get a lot more confident going into practice tomorrow and then into the game on Thursday?
Loads of confidence, but what it's also going to do is take every opponent that you have, and they're going to when are they going to open up that can?
Yeah.
When is that moment going to happen that we have to stay away from? Is it timeouts? Is it game flow for the opponent? It's going to be tough on the opponent's coaches.
Yeah, the can has been opened up, that's for sure. Now a steal by the Indians and looking for their first field goal, up and in. So finally, Newberry gets on the board here in this fourth quarter. Severns lays it up and in. He has 6. Now Gross is going to go hard at Severns, and he's going to create the contact and get fouled. And so that'll bring young Josh Gross to the line, shooting 2. Brimley Bays basketball brought to you by some of our fantastic sponsors, including Bay Mills Resort and Wild Bluff Golf Course, Baymark Sunoco and Gift Shop, and Memic Insurance, and the Doug LaPrade Agency. Gross misses his first free throw, so Brimley misses 2 there. So I guess the one thing you can say is the Bays haven't gotten to the line much, but when they have, it's not gone their way. They're 1 of 6, and now a shot off the glass, no good. And that'll give Newberry a free throw opportunity.
You know, given the way the second half started with the full court press, and you look back at teams like Cedarville, who has done that with success in the past, Pickford has done that from time to time. The successful teams in the UPC have been a great pressing team, a turnover-oriented team on defense.
First free throw, no good by number 10, Matthew Berry. So that's the first free throw miss. Newberry right now 7 of 13 from the line. Brimley 1 of 5. I think I said 1 of 6. They're 1 of 5 tonight. Second free throw, no good. So Berry misses a pair. Brimley with the ball. Sean Hill has it. 2:25 to play in the fourth quarter. Hill with the ball. Over to Capelli. Now Gross has it. Gross drives. Gross finds some space. Puts it off the glass and in. Nice play by Josh
Nice
Gross.
dribble drive.
Don't call him John. Dad will get mad at you. Dad's smiling over there at the camera. 2 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. It's been all Brimley here in this second half.
Yeah, if you stepped away, Scott, at halftime.
Yeah, you're coming back like what? Now here's Berry underneath, passing it over as McCormick doesn't get a shot off, but he was fouled. That'll be a 1-and-1 as that's the 8th team foul on the Brimley Bays. Coming up in our post-game show, we'll recap the stats. We'll hear from Vance Nason, give us his thoughts on the game. We'll also hear from head coach Matt Bathy, who will be a very happy camper. Matt comes up win or lose. Free throw up, no good by Newberry. That was McCormick. Rebounded to the Bays. Here's Gross with it. Josh Gross. Brimley will improve to 2-1 going into their game in Engadine, and that's going to be a travel. As Gross knew it there. The referee Ron Van Sloan has a big smile on. He's always smiling. That's a happy guy. They don't call him Ronnie Ballgame for nothing. I was that handsome. I'd be smiling
That's
too.
right.
I know he's got people listening on this game, so.
Beautiful teeth and everything.
He's just a good-looking guy.
That's right.
Now here's Newberry with the ball. Andre James with it. Top of the circle. Gets it over to McCormick. Minute 30 to play. Newberry just with 4 points in this half. 2 in the third and 2 so far in the fourth. Matthew Berry, he drives. Puts up a shot, no good. Rebounded by Capelli. Gets it over to Hill. Minute 20 to play in the fourth quarter. Brimley doesn't want this game to end. Now first action for Nate Reckla, number 40. See if we can get Nate on the score sheet. Jake Hopper with the ball. Nice cut to the basket. Capelli up off the glass and in. Dante Capelli with 4. Credit Hopper with the pass. 54-23 Brimley. Minute to play in this fourth quarter.
Box score me, Scotty.
I guess. Jeez. Josh Slot with the ball. Gets it over to McCormick. So Newberry's going to fall to 0-3. As it just has not been their night. Now a long 3 by Slot. No good. Brimley with the ball. As they have outscored Newberry now 34-4 in this half. As that'll be a foul inside. That'll send number 30, Jake Hopper. And really credit both Hoppers in the third quarter along with Johanson. I think they were the keys. I mean, everybody played well, Todd, but they, I thought, were 3 that stood out to me.
Athleticism.
First free throw up and in by Jake Hopper.
That's right.
He has 6.
Got to stay with that 35%.
Yeah, exactly. 55-23. Hopper's second free throw, no good. Rebounded inside. Hill, no. As the ball still kept alive by Hill. See if Brimley just runs out the clock here. And 30 seconds to play. Sean Hill with the ball. Up top to Capelli. Now over to Gross. 20 seconds. Hill inside. I think they want to get him on the score sheet. Now Hill almost lost. He gets it directly with the shot. No, off the back iron. Everybody in the building wanted that one to go in, except Newberry, of course. 10 seconds to play. So Brimley comes out after leading by 1 at halftime. And they outscore Newberry in the second half by a 35-4 mark. Unbelievable. Brimley with a 55-23 win over the Newberry Indians. We'll take a break and be back with their post-game show on Eagle 95.1. Scott Nason, Todd Olmstead back in Brimley, Michigan. Our final score in boys basketball, the Brimley Bays outscore the Newberry Indians by a 35-4 mark in that second half, and come away with a 55-23 victory over the Newberry Indians. We're joined once again by Vance Nason, Todd Olmstead joining us as well. And Vance, well, you, sir, really were accurate on your assessment in the first half. You said that Brimley needed to crash the boards, they needed to pick up the intensity, and boy, did they ever. Your thoughts on the game?
I think Brimley really stepped it up. They got in the paint, they made those close shots, and they turned the ball over. I noticed that. Throughout the second half, they were turning the ball over and over, and I think that was the turning point in this match.
Todd Olmstead joining us here as Coach Matt Bathe is going to go there. Vance, thank you again for your assessment. We got to get one of the players and the coach on, so we'll talk to you Thursday night here from Brimley.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, we'll talk to Liam here on Thursday night as well as we got the coach. Todd, we'll get you your assessment here in a moment as we got one of the players coming up here as Coach Matt Bathe and number 30, Jake Hopper, joining us here on the post-game show. And so we'll let them get settled with the headset. And, well, first of all, let's start with our player here, number 30, Jake Hopper. First of all, Jake, thanks for coming up and congratulations on a big win.
Thank you.
Well, we talked about it here on the broadcast, Jake, as far as you. I thought the whole team, obviously, in the second half, but you and your brother Sam, along with Kaleb Johanson, I really think were the spark in that third quarter. You guys outscored Newberry. I don't know if you know how much you outscored them by.
A lot.
35-4.
Listen,
then I'm talking to I'm talking to him, Coach.
Well,
you get your time.
It would have been 2. So I went and sat down. And I said to him, we held them to 2 the whole half. As soon as I said it, they went and got a layup.
There you go, Coach.
I jinxed it.
Clearly, that's bad coaching.
Yeah.
But Jake, what was what happened at halftime? I mean, obviously you guys made adjustments. You got the full court press, which caused a lot of turnovers. How did you just the energy out there was fun to watch?
Well, they had a layup or a little floater right at the end of the half. That kind of put us down even more. We came out really flat anyways. And then we go into the locker room. We just decided that we couldn't come out the second half flat. Last week against Cedarville, we came out flat, and it killed us. So we decided if we weren't going to come out flat, we're going to get fired up, and that's what we did.
And Coach Matt Bathe joining us as well. Coach, adjustments were made at halftime, but, boy, we said it on the broadcast. If you could just bottle up that half and use it at will during the season. I mean, that's just something that you just don't see much of. Just your thoughts.
Well, the thing is, we can do that.
Exactly.
I'm trying to get it to that point where these guys will do that for 4 quarters. If we do, it's ridiculous. I mean that right there. That half. That's a good half of basketball. I mean, we got the energy back. Our defense was just outstanding. Rebounding picked up. If these guys have to buy in the defense part of it, I keep telling them in practice every day, defense starts our offense, and Jake gave us a big spark, and he played really well, especially in our press, and at halftime I told him, when we start going away from what we're trying to do, that's when we look bad. That's when we can't. When we do what we're supposed to do, we execute what our game plan is. We're unstoppable.
And Jake, going into Thursday's game against Engadine, a team that knocked you guys out of the playoffs here at home, that really gives you guys a lot of confidence, to say the least, going up against a team that you probably want a little revenge on, don't you?
Oh, yeah, that'll definitely be a revenge game. So hopefully we'll be able to use the momentum from this game and go in there and just play our hardest and come out with a win.
Recapping the scoring, guys, Kaleb Johanson and Tristan Lyons had 10 each. Sam Hopper with 7. Jake Hopper 6, along with Josh Gross, 4 apiece from Dante Capelli, along with Zach Gross, Brendan Shornack and Hunter Lipinen. And, really, Coach, we've said it many times. We're going to say it again. Not many teams can match your depth. And when you have everybody that's really coming off the bench, starters that's not only doing it on the offensive end but on the defensive end, you said it. This is how this team can play, and you got to have a lot of confidence going into Thursday's game.
I've had a lot of conversations with these guys for years. I've coached these guys, watched them since they're in 4th, 5th grade. I knew this year was coming. I've been telling these guys we got something special, but it's not going to be easy. We got to put it all together. If we can put it all together, we can play like that for a half. We can play like that for a whole game.
Coach Matt Bathy, and along with Jake Hopper joining us on the post-game show. Gentlemen, great game. Congratulations, and we'll see you on Thursday here against Engadine. Thanks for coming up.
Thanks for having us.
All right, we'll get to Todd Olmstead here for his final thoughts. Recapping the scoring for Newberry. They're led by Casey Wendt, who had 6 points, George Severns with 5, Severns with 6, Jalen James with 5, and James Abram with 2 with the win. Brimley improves to 2-1 on the season, 1-1 in EUP conference play. Newberry falls to 0-3, 0-2 in EUP conference play. Joined once again by Todd Olmstead. Todd, your final thoughts on what was a dominating second half for the Brimley Bays.
Well, Dad, you've done a lot of games in your life. Have you ever seen a run like that to start a second half? When the game was
for
as
the
even
whole
as,
half,
when,
I haven't.
When the game was as even as it was that first half. It was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, just, I've seen runs. I've seen 20-1 runs. But boy, for an entire 16-minute run to hold the team to 4 points, a team that was playing pretty darn well. I mean, it was a 1-point game, and it just had the feeling that this was going to be a slug-out kind of, 40-39 type of game. But, again, credit the adjustments and credit the energy. And this team can indeed play like this, Todd. And while covering this team, we certainly hope that we get this recreated many, many times. And maybe even on Thursday against Engadine.
Scott, hopefully. Let's have a great game on Thursday. Very excited for it. Thank you so much for tonight, sir.
Well, Todd, you did a great job, and we'll get you back in action on Thursday. Hopefully you can get a few more throat lozenges, and you did a great job, and you saw a great game. We'll talk to you on Thursday.
Thank you. But before we go, was it like they were playing 5-on-3 hockey in the second half? Can I make a hockey analogy that's...
You could go there.
Can I go there?
I think so.
I don't feel right going there, but I'm going there anyway.
I haven't seen too many 5-on-3 power plays that effective this year, though, so maybe it's a stretch, but I like it. Todd, thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you on Thursday.
Thank you.
And I also want to thank Vance and Liam Nason for their thoughts and analysis of tonight's game. I want to thank our broadcast engineers, Katie Woolen and Lance Monroe, back in the Eagle 95.1 studios. And once again, we'll be back here on Thursday as the Brimley Bays will take on the Engadine Eagles in boys basketball. That's going to do it here from the Karl Parker Memorial Gymnasium. Once again, our final score, Brimley with a 55-23 victory over the Newberry Indians. We'll get back to more classic hits at random here on Eagle 95.1.